Hi, it's Lisa here from Soul to Soul Yoga. So I'm going to make an actually really quite easy recipe for vegan frittata. So normally a frittata would involve eggs, but we vegans, we don't eat eggs. So this is a good alternative. It's more of a bready kind of consistency, but it's really good and wholesome. And I was just kind of thinking, what shall I have for tea tonight? I had a load of vegetables in. So the first thing you want to do is chop and either fry or I've roasted just a mixture of vegetables. So I just stuck these in the oven. I've got courgettes, peppers, onions, put some peas in, some celery, some garlic. But you can use anything really, anything at all. Just kind of cook it up and make sure that's all nice and soft. And then you're going to make the frittata mix. Now there's a lot of vegetables there because I prefer more veg than frittata, but you could use less of course. So what the ingredients are is chickpea flour. This is gram flour. You can find it at all the supermarkets now. So it's just ground chickpeas. So it's gluten free. I'm not gluten free, but it has a different texture and it's really good for thickening. Very good as an egg replacement in a lot of recipes too. So I'm going to pop a cup and a half. I think this is going to be about the right amount. Again, you can either, I'm a bit of a rough and ready cook, as you know. So you can always have less or more of an ingredient if you need it for a bigger or a smaller frittata. I'm just going to try this. You can always make a bit more if you want to. So that's the gram flour. Into that, we want the same amount of water. So a cup and a half for this amount of water. And then the rest, actually I'm going to put a little less than a cup and a half because the recipe actually calls for yogurt or soy cream or something like that, but I don't have any. Actually I finished the last of it last night. So I'm just going to put a quarter cup of oat milk, but you don't need to do that. Probably the water would be fine. If you have some plant-based yogurt, stick that in. Again, it's kind of like personal taste. To this I'm going to add some spices. So I'm going to put a little bit of cayenne, not too much. I mean really the spices and herbs, you can use fresh herbs, you could use what you like. So a little bit of cayenne, got my lovely spice, my Indian spice pot, and basically always turmeric. I've put a little bit of turmeric. You might have seen that the vegetables are a little bit yellow. I'm going to put a little bit of paprika because I like paprika. And turmeric is just really good for anti-inflammatory. In fact, most of the spices are. I think that's all I'm going to put in for now. I'm going to then add the magic eggy ingredient. You don't need this. You can just use some normal salt. This is called kala namak, and it's a type of salt that smells really bad. It smells eggy. So you add just half a teaspoon of this, and it adds that little eggy flavour to your dishes. Okay, but again, you can skip that. It really doesn't matter. And the trouble with this stuff, it's not a trouble, but is that I've got a huge bag. So if anyone wants to borrow some, borrow a cup of kala namak, then please have some because you can't use it up. It's like half a teaspoon here and there in the odd recipe. And that's about it. So I'm going to whiz that up. You could just use a hand whisk or a normal blender. Poor, it smells eggy. Or if you've got, super fast one. Do a little bang. Give that another few seconds, I think. Tidy up as we go. And there you go. Lift the lid and you have just kind of a batter mix here. So that actually smells eggy. So look, you can see it looks a little bit like egg. I think that's the turmeric as well, and the gram flour is yellow. So for that amount of mixture, it seems perfect. Now I see recipes, they all say line your tin, you could line it with greaseproof paper, but if it sticks a bit, it'll be crispy edges. But feel free to line your tin before you put your veggies in and your frittata, or kind of like it's a little bit like frittata is just like an Italian omelette, isn't it? Like a fancy omelette. As you can see, you can probably see now that that is kind of looking a little bit already like some kind of frittata or omelette. So now I'm going to pop that into the oven for probably at 190 degrees, so not too hot, not too cold, a medium oven for about 40 minutes. But as always, just check as you go, maybe check after half an hour. It just needs to be firm, so when you stick a toothpick in or a knife in, it's clean when it comes out, and we'll come back and have a look when it comes out of the oven. So I've just taken the frittata out of the oven, and you can see it's baked. It's got a few little cracks. It's got a big hole where I prodded a fork in it, but nah, it'll be all go down the same hole. So let's see, and it's nicely brown on the outside. It smells really good actually. As I said, you could line your tin. It probably won't. This will probably stick a little bit. I'm just going to go around the edges. In fact, it's probably best to wait till it's cold, but you know what? I'm going to try and cut you a slice so that you can see, and so I can try a bit. I'll just try a corner here. But yeah, I would let it go cold because it will firm up. But like warm bread that you're supposed to leave to go cold, you know, who does? Okay, so I've already done a little bit because I'm going to leave it to firm before I take it out. As you can see, there's still a little bit of runniness. This is because of the juice from the vegetables. No, I'll just have to try it for you, just to give you my verdict. It's escaping. You know what? That needs another 10 minutes in the oven. We're going to pop the rest in the oven for another 10 minutes. It was in for about 40 minutes. Looked cooked. You know what? It'll probably firm up. I might give it another 5-10 minutes just in a medium oven. Tastes really good though. And you know, it's only chickpea flour, vegetables. So there you go, my vegan frittata. You know what? I don't know if I'm going to put it back in. It might not last that long. Enjoy. I'm going to serve this with a salad. And yeah, some maybe a little bit of coleslaw. But you could just have it on its own as a lunch dish. Take care. Hope you enjoyed. Namaste.